Hi, Cappy. This is your March astrology for all Capricorn signs. Um, my phone went off. My other one. Anyway, this is astrology for all Capricorn signs for the month of March. You're definitely coming into a new level of consciousness. You have a lot going on in your personal space arena, so to speak. Your self identity, your ego, your introverted self, what you choose to believe that you will. Your more private areas, your personal areas, and the unconscious within them becoming conscious. And then how that's going to react or affect your community in a way as you shift. I feel like stir. Like if you're stirring a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, as you stir. I feel like this month has a lot of stirring going on. I was pulled to, before I even pulled out your thing, I was pulled to one of my books. Okay, like you're going to be a lot in your logical, materialistic world, but in your own head more than outside. It's what's going on in your head is what I'm getting. It's the left brain that's taking a lot of action, trying to communicate to your unconscious and bring it into consciousness. I had to bring up some of my other notes here to help me understand what I was getting, because I'm getting a lot of, like when you try to be too perfect and maybe picking yourself apart because you're trying to be too perfect. I'm getting a lot of that. I'm also getting a lot of stubborn and inflexibility because I'm getting a lot of pain in my neck. And what that means for me is trying to control every aspect of everything, including your own thinking. And a lot of this is going to have to do with the South Node. I know that. But you're trying to do everything yourself. You don't like to accept help. You want to do everything fast and at your own pace, but your pace may not be the right pace. It's very masculine energies that are overpowering the intuition. And that would be, truthfully, what I'm getting is a lot of the head chatter and the heart are dealing with blame, shame, pride, ego, grief, sorrow, shame, bitterness, inflexible. Very pointing finger-ish. Not even if you mean to, but that's just what we do as humans. And what's really happening is the heart is trying to communicate, but the head's not hearing it, which causes the stress across the neck. Problems within this alignment and tensions come out when we do not take action towards what it is that we desire. You can't think your way through this experience. You actually have to speak it and do it. And you have Mars coming in to your sign and traveling through it up until the 30th 30th when it moves into Aquarius. So it's trampling over all the planets in your first house. And it's Mars is passion, action, aggression. It's the inner warrior. It's the inner SWAT team. And you're definitely getting some higher ascensions in the head. Third eye crown. But for some of you, you're very much on this path and you're willing to take these chances and learn and come into these new experiences, which is an ascension process. But some of you are fighting it. Because Mars is coming in. It's going to go over Pallas. It's going to go over, let me see. It's going to go over Pallas, Pluto, Saturn. It's not going to go over Saturn, but it's going to be trying to catch up with Saturn. And it's not actually going to catch up with Saturn. It's going to go over Pluto, Jupiter, Pallas. Pallas is Athena, the warrior goddess, strategic thinking. Pluto is spirit. It's the death of the old so the new birth can come forward. It's death, decay, and destruction for renewal, rebirth, regeneration. I feel very scorpionic in your energy. Plus, Mars has got up until another month and a half. You still have the South Node in Capricorn, which is saying right off the bat something about the foundation that you've created. You've gotten incredibly good at, but it doesn't serve you because there's more. There's more. There's something better. It's time to ascend. It's time to grow. But getting into that growing aspect is where you get a little bit of the uncomfortable feeling. And that's what Pluto is putting on that energy as well. The South Node is only going to be here for about a month more. And that's also changing the way you, your personal foundations, shape-shifting of those personal foundations. South Node is saying, like I said, something here is you've gotten very good at. Spiritually, soulfully, standing in your power. This is a part of your foundation, your personal self-awareness, your personality, your character, how you view things, the very core of who and what you are. But there's something about it that's saying there's more. Are you digging in deep enough? Because there's more here. And asking you if you're really allowing that authentic fire to burst. Like into flames. Or are you holding back? And this could be you holding back against yourself instead of others, because it is your self-awareness. You still have Pluto here and Jupiter, which is bringing abundance to it for another month. You still have the South Node. Pallas is traveling through, and she's strategically thinking, helping you to see those things about yourself that you're not, I don't want to say not in tune with, but that's exactly what it is. I mean, it's parts of yourself on a psychic level that would say you're ascending and growing. I'm going to use my friend as an example. I have a friend who does Akashic records, and she does them so easily like that. It just comes to her. But when you actually put the label on it, now I'm a little fearful. Am I doing it right? This is kind of thing I'm talking about. Whether it's shamanically, psychically, spiritually, soulfully, just your character, your personality, there's parts of you that like you're afraid to tap into and let the whole world see how bright and vibrant that piece of energy is that you're just a little afraid to connect with of yourself. And this has to do with growing. But this has to do with overcoming those pieces of self that you don't really feel comfortable tapping into. It's a new level of self-realization. I mean, they took me right into your astrology. They didn't even give me time to give you a rundown. But, I mean, that's because of the way that it's coming out. So we're just going to continue to go with it. Now, you have in your second house is Aquarius. The only thing you have in the second house is Ceres. But near the end of the month, on the 21st, Saturn is going to move in temporarily. Because Saturn is going to retrograde back into Capricorn throughout the year. So it's only here for a hot little minute to assess the situation. And then it's going to go back to Capricorn and go in your first house. So where you're still not getting these rules, walls, and boundaries, I think that you put up against yourself. Not really that you're not letting others in, but I think it's a part of where you're not letting yourself in. And I'm saying that because it's important, because when it goes into the second house, it's going to be, Saturn is going to be touching base on your true, authentic value, worth, self-esteem, the shape-shifting of, are you getting that? And then, like I said, it's going to go back into that first house and go, so where have you not gotten the message? Because now I have to drill this into your head. So when it goes back in after the retrograde throughout the middle of the year, and it comes back in at the end of the year, it can really start making that value, self-worth, self-esteem, the shape-shifting of bringing that strength of that, like that one spark that isn't quite connected right. It's like you've got all the sparks in the spark plug, working, but this one is like a bzz, 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 is what I'm getting. And it's like we're fixing where it's going bzz, bzz. We're trying to get it connected so it's flowing right. And it's the piece that of yourself you're afraid of. That you're not connected to. Now, Ceres being here is speaking to you about what you're not nurturing of that. At the end of the month, you have Saturn that's going to move in, as well as Mars that's going to move in, really pushing on you to take action before that Saturn goes retrograde. And helping you nurture yourself in those areas of the bzz, bzz, that's not working quite right. And I don't even mean not working quite right. It's just like your connection to yourself and that streamline of self has some doubt. And we're learning to adjust that so the doubt's taken out. Is really what I'm getting. Is you're going to be seeing this throughout the whole year. But the thing is, right now versus the whole year is you've got Mars coming through your first house, and then next month Mars will be going through your second house. So this is asking you to really take action in these areas. Stand in that fire. Start to address that fire. Start to believe in it. Have courage within yourself to address those things about yourself that you doubt. And strengthen the soul's connection because of it. You're definitely seeing that over the next 2 months, but you're going to see it all the whole year. It's just Mars is here at the time, really pushing on that. Now, as you come into your third house, this is where Mercury went retrograde in your communication zone. And then it backed up into Aquarius. Because Mercury went retrograde. While it was in retrograde, it's still going to come into Aquarius on the 4th. Then it's going to go direct on the 9th, which is the same day as the full moon. The 4th and the 9th are very sensitive days. Especially the 4th, I feel. And because you have Venus moving one sign and you have Mercury moving one sign. But then you have the full moon on the 9th when Mercury goes direct. So maybe the whole week. But that energy went back into Aquarius for you, which is your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem, which is also your inner rebel. Yeah, it's your inner rebel. It's your inner rebel, your inner fighter, your inner I don't need a cause to be me, and I'll tell you who the hell I am. Let me just show you. But I feel like you're touching base again in that inner communication of those things about yourself that you doubt. And you're learning how to stop doubting it. But when it comes back on the 16th into Pisces, it's truly back into your communication house. And this is really asking you at that time. And then throughout the rest of the month from the 16th out, because the sun will be moving in and coming on top of it, will be coming on top of Neptune. Mercury will be coming back. The sun's going to cross over the two. 26th is going to be a big day too. Anyway, so you're also having that communication with yourself, but it's going to be in shadow, is what I'm trying to get through to you. So those doubts and anxieties may be showing themselves to you in mirroring ways through other people, helping you to address that what you doubt about yourself, but you're not wanting to see, so that you can communicate with yourself in a better way. But I am saying I've got gossip going on all over, and that's not just for you. I'm getting it all over the board for everybody for the next month. So, I don't want to say don't communicate to the people that you're working on that. Just make sure you know who your tribe is, because there is some shady shit going on. And that communication being in shadow can really blow up. And I'm not seeing it necessarily for you, but I am seeing it around you. Unless, of course, you're talking ill-willed to yourself on some levels. Now, on the 4th house, you have definite energies going on here. Within that inner emotional security, your personal identification, your innermost deepest secrets of yourself. And this is what I'm talking about. This is Aries for you. But you have Chiron and Lilith within 5 degrees of each other the whole month. Chiron's the wounded healer in that inner emotional security. And it's going to be having conversations with you about that way you communicate with yourself, or the way you're not communicating with yourself, or the way you're communicating with yourself poorly. Within overcoming that doubt that makes you truly aware of your personality, your character, your self-worth, self-value, self-esteem. You're setting new foundations by overcoming that which you doubt. You're getting into a deeper level of the true self. But this has everything to do with that communication. And is that communication healing karmic lessons, or starting you on a brand new cycle? Is the reincarnation being made? But the thing here is, you also have Eris in the 4th house, which is where it's easier to hold on to the trouble, toil, and strife of that inner emotional security, holding on to the insecurities that's made you feel secure. Because Eris is Medusa, and Medusa can't be healed. Chiron is coming closer to her, but they're not going to get together. Chiron's the wounded healer with Lilith on his back, saying, where's your soul fire? Are you standing in your soul fire? I want some liberation here. I believe in me and you should believe in us, and let's do this. Let's fix this foundation. Let's build these roots. Let's strengthen our soul. Let's, if you have to go into some of your own inner darkness to get that so that you can overcome that doubt, she's cool with that because that's part of what Lilith is. Chiron is just looking for the healing, but Medusa is in that darkness going, trouble, toil, strife. Inner emotional security, home, inner child, the roots of who and what you are. Really addressing some of these issues that somewhere along the way you lost faith in yourself in. But the thing is that's going directly across all month as speaking with Libra. Your 10th house, your honor, your reputation, your prestige. So this isn't just affecting your interpersonal power, your interpersonal world, the areas of yourself that you like to keep secret. It's forcing it to come out and about and be part of that outer community. And that honor, reputation, prestige, professional world, financial success, social foundation, all is counting on you getting right with yourself over this year and overcoming those things, because something about the direction of that professional world is going to be counted on you healing that. The outer world should be having people of your tribe in it. That professional world, that social foundation. Authority and responsibility should be people that you trust within that tribe. Because here's the thing, that's where the balance, the harmony, and the justice is created. Not through you, but in that outer community, if they're the right community. You also have Haumea here, you have Make here, and you have Ura here, which is getting right with yourself enough for the sacrifice and the commitment for what it is you want to create and see outside of you. Haumea is the collective conscience, the collective conscience in that outer community. Honor, reputations, professional world, social foundations, financial success, authority. The collective consciousness is there, but so is Make, which is saying, so where is the sacrifice and the commitment within the truth of that collective consciousness on the level of the lotus flower? And is it fair? Is it balanced? Is it just? Is it really? And I always say the growth of the lotus flower is, the lotus flower grows in a swamp. It's a very spiritual, evolving flower that we use through spirituality as growth and spiritual maturity. And it grows from some of the nastiest freaking place. It grows from inside of your darkness. So this is definitely addressing that darkness and lifting it up out of that swamp and bringing it to light. So true justice over yourself is being made. There's a direction you're meant to be taking right now. And are you seeing it? Are you working it? And do you have the right people there that help support your healing? Because that would be where that responsibility and that authority, that's going to help strengthen your honor, reputation, and social foundation within the financial success. Bring it into reality. We're talking about your self-awareness, your appearance, your inner emotional security. But remember, when you feel better about yourself, you're more honest with yourself, you're more high vibrational with your securities, not your insecurities, and you don't get yourself confused about the insecurities being the securities. That's law of attraction, and law of attraction brings you more of what you want. But when you're still holding on and tapping into those insecurities, it brings you more to tap into of those insecurities. Law of attraction. So this is about overcoming that for the outer community of what it is you're trying to create and bring to you. So it's inside and out. Long story short. Your 5th house is Taurus. You have Venus crossing over Uranus in the beginning of the month. And then you still have Vesta there until the very end of the month, I think around actually the 21st. So this is your pursuit of pleasure, your creativity, your inner child, your hobbies, your sports, your fun, your enjoyment interests, and your creative expression. So this is saying trust in that Uranus energy and get deeper into what it is that you haven't learned to express about yourself. Trust in that change. Trust in that creative nature. And allow that to flow through you. Venus is going to show you where you're not tapping in well, because she's going to pick on those insecurities. She's also going to, give you loving guidance where you are tapping in well. So she's going to point to you out through insecurities where you're in denial of getting right with your inner child and your inner creative expression. And if you're not getting right with that inner creative expression, then your fun and enjoyment of life isn't quite as illuminated. It doesn't have as much shine. And it's basically asking you to put some of your gusto, is what I just heard, into that. The guts and gusto into that creative expression, and help yourself to believe in that, so that you're bringing that to the outer world as well. Gemini is your daily routines. You're not really going to have, you don't have any planets going on here until the very end of the month, when you have Vesta come in on the 21st. And that's bringing the soul fire into those routines, which is saying, pay attention to all of this, and where are these routines not serving that creative expression and inner emotional security. Because come the end of the month, around the 21st, it's asking you to really tweak those daily routines, people, places, and things within those routines to help support you. You may not be noticing it until the end of the month, but come the end of the month, it's time to make sure that you're putting yourself in those routines that tweak and help you out. The 7th house has your North Node in it, which is definitely saying you need to nurture the relationships you have and not neglect them, because you're running out of time. The North Node tells you what you need to learn about the relationships to make sure that you are, they said, make sure that you are helping others express their hidden talents, their hidden truths. Help them, just same thing that you're doing with you, overcoming your own doubts, your own denials. You, in these relationships, you should be loving them into helping them do that just as much, nurturing them, because as you nurture them, law of attraction also means you're nurturing you. That mirroring effect of the North Node and the South Node, Rahu and Ketu. They're about helping your ascendant grow. And this is definitely saying you need to put the time and love and nurturing into those relationships if you want them to last, if you want them to be good ones. But if they're ones that are not supporting you, then obviously they're not ones that should be there. because they should be supporting your nurturing of your own self-growth as well. And then you don't have anything else until we get over to that 11th house. And that's what we were already talking about. Your higher self. Your collective consciousness. And that honor and reputation. Take a chance on you. And help others take a chance on them. I love you guys. Bye.